What happened to men pursuing girls? When was the pivotal moment that a man chose to not go after a girl anymore or put in any effort? It seems like guys can just put the bare minimum and not even really put in effort anymore. They don't really care to.
That's because most of y'all are not worth pursuing anymore. A man can put in 100% effort, and women will still turn around and say it's the bare minimum.
Or they're like, why don't girls just go and make the first move and make the effort? When did it become a thing? Now it's like role reversal where they expect girls to be making the first moves, yearning for a guy and chasing him. That is, I feel like, the downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone, because men don't put in effort anymore or don't care to put in effort. And a relationship won't work unless the guy likes the girl just a tiny little bit more. He has to like her just the tiniest bit more for it to work in the long haul.
Notice how on every point she makes it always reverts back to being the man's fault. Why would men continue to make an effort when this is the sort of treatment they get in return?
So it would make sense if a guy really wanted to get to know you, that he would go leaps and bounds to get to know you. And when did that shift? Because back in my mom's era, if a guy wanted to take you out on a date, he had to go up to you, he had to get your number, he had to go through lengths to try to talk to you, even if you weren't interested at first. How my parents met? They met at a bar, and my dad asked for my mom to dance, and my mom was like, get out of here. She wanted nothing to do with him. If he had just left and listened to her, they would have never gotten married, they would have never had kids. But he was persistent. He wanted to take her out on a date so badly. He was like, what do I have to do to take you out on a date? She was working late their first date, so he went to her work, picked her up, prepped a dinner, took her to a park, just planned the whole thing. He wrote her poetry. He was yearning. How my aunt and my uncle met. My aunt was a dancer on a cruise ship, and he was the photographer. And he was persistent.
Be persistent. Hey! Is she trying to get us locked up? Hell nah. Bitch, we in 2026, not 1966. The moment a woman says no, I'm out of there. I'm not getting labeled as a creep and waking up to a girl making a TikTok story time about how I'm a stalker when all I did was ask for her number.
Now we're praising eye contact. Now we're praising if a guy held a door open to us and smiled. That is what we're praising. It feels so backwards. I just wonder when it shifted, because I feel like that is the whole downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone now. Because men just don't care anymore.
So you want to know when it shifted? Ask the bear. Hey! Nah, but in all seriousness, the change happened when women expressed how they are strong and independent and do not need a man. Y'all literally told us to leave y'all alone, and now that we are respecting your wishes, we're the one to blame now.
So a guy just told me that he doesn't want to talk to me anymore because I'm not consistent enough for him. Because I didn't reply to him for 6 hours. Wow.
Thank God that man spotted the red flag early. Now I know some of you might say 6 hours isn't too bad, or maybe she was busy, but that 6 hours would have probably turned to 24. And men are starting to get better at realizing when we are wasting our time. If you're busy, just drop a quick text saying so. Women scream men are bad communicators but end up doing stuff like this.
So all the men from my previous post saying that they have found peace by being alone and they're not trying to date because they just want peace. Are you trying to say that we don't bring peace to your life? I have to disagree.
Literally arguing the point and showing exactly why we are right. Could you imagine working a 10 or 12-hour shift? You're tired, starving, about to hit breaking point, and then you have to come back home and hear this voice.
Are you trying to say that we don't bring peace to your life? I do not think that if a woman that you so desired was available to you, you would choose peace over commitment, sex, good meals with conversation, and things like that. So I'm going to call your bluff because I don't think that's true. This, by the way, is not police lights. This is some kind of flashing light in a parking lot. I'm not quite sure what it is. But anyway, again, calling your bluff. Okay?
Now, she's not necessarily wrong here. Men do prefer commitment, but it has to be from the right woman. The correct woman will add to your life instead of taking away. But the issue is, finding that woman is like trying to find a bag of ice in hell.
What I noticed lately is that a lot of men rather stay single because they're tired of giving their everything and ending up with nothing.
Why a lot of men love being single. So ladies, if you're watching this, this is what you're up against and what you're competing against. 1, he can enjoy all of his hobbies without being nagged or put down or his hobbies made fun of. His friends might lightly tease him, but for the most part, they're probably into the same hobbies he is, and he's gonna have so much fun with them. So if you're in a relationship with a man, make sure you show full support for his hobbies. 2, he doesn't have to worry about financially serving anybody. Unfortunately for a lot of men, relationships are insanely expensive. There's always that joke that he went to the restaurant without his girlfriend and he only had to spend like $10. Whereas with his girlfriend, he would have spent 50. Now that's probably an exaggeration. No.
I love my peace. It's priceless. And I get to spend all my money on me. I'm gonna go get an old classic car tomorrow for $2,500. I don't have to ask nobody. I spent $50 at a Taco Bell once on my ex. My order was $8. The rest was hers. Damn!
But you get what I'm getting at. And next, they can live and decorate the way they want to. They don't feel the need to have all these weird items around the house for no apparent purpose other than to collect dust. They can have that simple, minimalist setup that looks clean and beautiful, and it's effortless to maintain.
Goddamn right.
This is a question for the men. If you're not a man, keep scrolling. Okay, so men, why are we hating women? Why are we hating women? I feel like women are hating men and men are now hating women. They don't want to get married. They don't want to live with them. They, they just want to be single forever. Like, what's going on here? Are all you men into men now?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Like, what's going on? I'm so confused. I feel like we're creating a divide here, folks. Can we come back together? I love men. And I want men to start loving women again. Like, I don't know. What do we need to do? Let me know and I can try to get the congregation together and we could try to move forward so we can all start loving each other again. I don't know. What am I missing? Can you please fill me in? I'm very, 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 very confused. Okay, thanks.
Like I said, we don't hate women. But when women constantly tell us to stay away or we don't want you, men are trash. And generally just hating on men as a whole for the actions of a small minority. Men are going to adapt and choose their peace and sanity every single time. I'm a woman, and after spending 5 minutes scrolling on TikTok, I think it's pretty obvious why. This. Why is no one seeing this? Selective blindness and ego.
Do you know what the funniest thing about so many men is nowadays? So many men are no longer scared of being single. They're now scared of being in a soul-sucking, detrimental relationship that's only going to waste their time, waste their energy, waste their effort, and waste their money. They would rather be single than be in a bad relationship. So it's not that men are complaining because they're single. Men are complaining because they've just seen everything as such a waste of time for them lately.
Actually, no. The men stopped dating because girls like you aren't loyal anymore, and they started to realize they were wasting their time trying to make relationships work with girls that ultimately didn't care about them. And now it's ruined everything, even for good girls like me.
Correct! Y'all, that's all I have for today. Please like and subscribe, and let me know if you've given up on dating.